Hey everyone, I hope you all have a good Easter weekend. Before the weekend gets kicked off, I wanted to touch a little about the draft and player needs for the Packers, things like that. There's always speculation whether teams should draft for need or should draft the best player available. I think it should kind of be a combination of the two. Outside linebacker is, in my opinion, the biggest need on the Packers right now. Just take a second to think of the team's biggest weakness on defense last year. It certainly wasn't stopping the run. It certainly wasn't pass coverage in the secondary most of the time, where the Packers had led the NFL in interceptions. But it was in pass rush, where they were 12th in the NFL in sacks last season. Now imagine this. Close your eyes if you need to. Now imagine Clay Matthews going down with an injury for all of the 2010 season. Your starting linebackers and the outside are now Brad Jones and Brady Papinga. And the top backup to them is Cyril Obiezer. This isn't a very good thing. You know, I've got nothing against Brad Jones. He's got some potential, but he's a little bit of an unknown. Brady Papinga can help the Packers stop the run a little bit probably, but he's not going to get any sacks, and who knows beyond that what the Packers have. And there's even less certainty at the position due to the injury status of Jeremy Thompson, who may never play again. That's kind of an unknown. We'll see about him, but that's why that's the biggest need on the team. I'm of the opinion that the Packers can't wait until the third day of the draft to take an outside linebacker if they stick strictly with this best player available, that line of thinking. The team could actually be worse off by doing so. Luckily, the Packers, there's some good outside linebacker prospects that in the first round that might be available at number 23. The Packers are going to have to consider very strongly taking Brandon Graham of Michigan if he's there. I really think could be the person they take. I don't know if he'll be available. It's kind of one of those things that's up in the air. Mock drafts have him going a little bit earlier, maybe to the Packers, maybe a little bit later. Mostly I've seen him taken before the Packers pick at number 23. But if he is there, I think he's as good a prospect as anyone who might be available, along with Mike Iapati of Idaho. If not, one of the next most likely options might be Sergio Kindle of Texas, who I've heard some people say is a better prospect than Brian Arakpo was a year ago. So Kindle could be a guy who the Packers draft and could really be add a little bit to the pass rush. TCU outside linebacker Jerry Hughes is another possibility, although his body size scares me a little bit. He was probably the best player at TCU this past season, maybe the past couple seasons, and that team really proved it could play with the big boys. So, I mean, there's something to be said for Jerry Hughes. I mean, they took on the big boys, and they beat most of them. They finished with an undefeated regular season record. I think they lost in the bowl game there to a good Boise State team. But it'll be interesting to see what the Packers do. That's all my thoughts for right now. Have a good weekend. Have a good Easter. Talk to you in the future.